Hello, welcome to another electrical project session where we're going to be working on project number 7. For project number 7, what we're looking at is a duplex outlet in box number 1, a lamp holder in box number 2, and a light switch controlled by a light switch in box number 3. Now, for the duplex outlet in box number 1, the outlet will have 100% power. In this case here, what we'll do in constructing this is utilizing this outlet as kind of a wire nut in a way, okay, where we're going to be utilizing both of these terminals. It won't have any effect on the electrical current that's going to the outlet by having electrical travel through the outlet to the next appliance in the upcoming boxes. And that electrical current will go through box 2. We're not going to wire directly into the light. And just to clarify, we want to be able to relay from box 1 all the way over to box number 3, because if we were to use this wire going from the outlet directly to this lamp holder, this light would never turn off. You want to make sure that you have control over this lamp holder by this switch. So we need to get our electrical current from box number 1 over to box number 2 by going through box number 2 with this wire nut. So electrical current will go from box 1 to box 3. We're going to utilize our 12-3 cable by having our black wire used all the way over to our light switch in box number 3. The red wire will go relay back over to our lamp holder with the same red wire. The red wire between boxes 1 and 2 will not be used. It's not necessary. And of course, we'll then have our neutrals relayed all the way back over to our power in box number 1. Simple enough. So how do we get there? First couple of housekeeping items from our previous project is removing our old appliances. But moving these appliances, and it's pretty simple. And some of the wire we're not even having to move all too much. Like this black wire here with the wire nut, we can just leave it as is. And so that's just going to be our relay from box number 1 to box number 3. We can go ahead and remove the little jump wire that we have on our old light switch from a previous project. That won't be necessary for this project. We just go direct wire to and from our light switch. Okay, so as I normally do, I'll just start from box number 1, start with the first appliance, which is going to be our duplex outlet. And keep in mind with these duplex outlets, you have two sides of terminals. lost one of my terminals. You have two sides of terminals, both the hot and neutral, okay? And and again, there's a bracket along the sides, either side of these terminals that connect both terminals in order for you to be able to relay your power, kind of as if it were to be to have a wire nut connecting the two wires. Now I'm just going to go ahead and just start with the simplest one here. I try to have the matching colored wires between the appliances, and we'll utilize our black wires to start. Of course, always start with your hot wires. Where are you traveling to? Between the boxes. Try to make it as easy as possible for assembling these different appliances. Okay, the hot wires for our first appliance in box number 1, our duplex outlet, is connected by our hot wires. So from there, where's that power going to travel to? Well, we're not going to have that, again, we're not going to have that wire directly running to the lamp holder in box number 2. Okay, if we were to have that wire, that black wire, screwed into the terminals on our lamp holder in box number 2, there would be no way of controlling that light. So when that power gets to that lamp holder, that light would never turn off. You have to be able to have control over that light by the light switch. So the best way of making that approach is by having your power go from box number 1 to your light switch in box number 3, relay it by the two wires, just hook them up by a wire nut. So we're relaying our power from box number 1 through box 2 with a wire nut, and then on to box number 3. And here's our black wire here. Wire it in to our light switch. Okay, now a couple of approaches you can make here. All right, now there are certain scenarios. We kind of had a little bit of an easier approach here using 12-3 wire. So kind of like a what if this were a situation where you have a 12-2. All right, so what if you have a 12-2 wire where you have only 3 wires, a black, a white, and a ground? Well, in this case here, a good lesson to be taught is that if you run that situation where you're only dealing with a 12-2 instead of a 12-3 where you have a black, a red, a white, and a ground, well, what if we don't have that luxury? What if we don't have that red wire that's there? Well, the wire that you would wind up using, you can use this neutral wire. However, you would want to do what's called flagging this wire. It's where you take a piece of electrical tape and you just wrap it around, creating a little flag on this white wire. That would detail to the next person in line if they were to pop off this little cover to the junction box to make a change to an appliance. They would know that this white wire here is actually going to be carrying a current. It's actually flagging this wire as being hot. It's no longer neutral, it'd be a hot wire. Very important to have. And you wouldn't believe the number of times that popping off a cover to a junction box and coming across neutral wire, thinking that it is a neutral wire when in fact it is not. So very important, and safety wise very important to actually flag a neutral wire that you are utilizing as a hot wire. But since I don't have electrical tape in front of me, and since I do have that luxury of having 12-3, we're just going to tuck this neutral wire down and out of the way, out of sight, out of mind, and use our red wire. So that would mean that this neutral wire here in box number 2, that's going from box 3 to box 2, I'd set that out of the way as well. So I go ahead and hook up my red wire. Now jump back from box number 3 on the light switch in order to control the lamp holder in box 2. So here's my red wire that goes from my light switch Okay, so here we have all of our hots connected between our 3 appliances. At this point, it's just connecting the neutrals. Let's start from the very, we'll start from the finish line here, okay? And start with our lamp holder. Now, keep in mind that on your light switch, you only have the 2 hot terminals. No neutrals in order to relay it back over to your power in. So start from your lamp holder. 1 neutral wire. You do not have a neutral that's going from our box number 3. No need to use the second neutral in box number 2. Just the 1. So we have our neutral wire on our lamp holder, relayed back over to our duplex outlet in box number 1. One. There are our neutrals. At this point, all we have left are just the grounds. red wire, tuck that out of the way. Fix our ground in box number 2. Okay, no grounds to attach in our lamp holder. So going back all the way over to our light switch in box number 3. Okay, here we have it. Our outlet in box number 1, relaying power from our power in all the way over to our light switch in box number 3 that controls a lamp holder in box number 2. That concludes our project number 7.